Howdy doody everybody, my name is KevGuuey and welcome to a new game that just came out called Musicus. Musicus? Musicus. A story-rich visual novel from the creators of Go Nippon. Musicus is a crowdfunded success which tells a story of the struggle to fit society's mold while living for ourselves. A full-length visual novel, Musicus explores many different walks of life. Alright, so this is gonna be interesting. So I am actually excited to start this game, and as it said, it's developed by Overdrive and published by Manga Gamer. Link is down below in the descriptions if you want to play this game yourself. And this game literally just came out like yesterday. Anyways, let's start a new game. There's no cinematic introduction or video, so I don't know what I'm expecting. The white lace curtains swayed gently in the wind, giving the sunlight a comforting tone. I don't know what is there buns or anything like. Oh, okay. That's what that does. The smell of my whole grain toast with butter and my organic coffee from a local cafe melded with the room's clean air. What's this button do? Oh. Why wasn't this here before? What's the function help? Ooh. Yep, text-based game. The visual novel, of course. Yep. Wait. Clicking the screen will display the next line of text. Okay, but when this symbol is displayed, will move you to the next line. Huh? Wait, clicking what? I'm confused. There's no down arrow. Okay. Clicking when this symbol is displayed will move you to the next page. Oh, I see. The circles are not in the right places. So it's talking at the end of the end of the sentence. That's what it means. I was like, what am I looking for? What am I looking at? Yep, functions menu. Alright, so it's the next page and line. Okay. Fast forward, backlog, and alright. There we go. Now I understand. An aroma like this roused me more than any sound or sight could, and it alone would make for a wonderful morning. But this morning, there was something in the living room robbing me of that pleasure. Hey, can you turn the TV off? I asked her as I buttered the last corner of my toast. Who you?
待って、もうすぐやるみたいだから。
My mom sat directly in front of the TV, her eyes fixated as she answered. Oh. The look on her face was one of giddy anticipation, but I had no idea what fun she could have found in it. There was a morning news show on. At the long table on screen, everyone sitting seemed to have impressive titles on their name cards, like professors and whatnot, yet I highly doubted any of their jobs related to the kind of gossip and news anyone was capable of commenting on. I only very rarely and by chance saw these kinds of shows. Oh, a talk show? I was like, is this a news thing? But apparently today's contents had some bearing on our family, and my mom was intent on watching it. The political news segment had just ended, and the celebrity gossip segment was starting. Ooh! What on earth did she find interesting about this? It was like she was a little girl waiting for her favorite actor to come on screen. Despite it being about her husband's unfaithfulness, it was beyond me. While I had trouble wrapping my mind around it, even more aggravating was everything about my dad, who was about to be the topic of the show.
さて、それでは最初のニュースは今大人気のあのお騒がせ先生の不倫騒動です。
Just as the caster finished his opening line, a middle-aged man's face appeared on screen. I wanted to avert my gaze from that familiar face.
見て、お父さんよ。
My mom bounced up and down in her chair. Oh, okay. It was her husband and my father, Yusaku Tsushima. Wait, Tsushima? Tsushima? Why does that name sound familiar? A doctor with his own practice. My grandfather was a doctor, and like many sons of the family, my dad followed in those footsteps at first, but went down a fairly different path eventually. He had gained fame here and there on TV for his endearing and cool way of speaking, completely unlike a typical doctor. He even had a small role in a drama, and me being cynical about the whole thing, I saw it as a chance to rip on him, yet even I found myself a bit taken by his acting skill. He was some ignorant samurai with his hair done up, making a flagrant request to his servant, and he nailed it. I don't know how they did that casting. It was like he was born for the role. There is no way in a blue moon his father, who dedicated his life to medical research, would have ever done this sort of work. It all started when they called him on a variety show to give his doctor's opinion. His extreme way of speaking was just so incongruous to a medical professional, like he was insulting the community. Yet somehow that performance landed him loads of TV work. So I wanted to see none of it, if at all possible. It was embarrassing for me to see my own father on TV with nothing positive to say. Usually there's nothing positive to tell people, to get healthy. I'm pretty sure nothing in that area is gonna be a positive outlook for most people. Oh, that hamburger is greasy and you shouldn't eat it because you might get a heart attack? Oh, what a very unpositive statement to say. Now his primary work seems to be a TV personality, and you would think he was shirking his responsibilities as a doctor, but his TV appearances had actually increased his clinic's revenue. Well, that does make sense. It's like that show, Dr. Oz? Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if he has a clinic or not. I just remember that show like a long time ago, and I don't even know if he's still doing it. Anyways, so even as I threw my fists in anger, I had nowhere to slam them down except the lots of couches we have. He was really eating at me. The world of television wasn't simple or kind, so this kind of success spoke to his innate talent. Maybe I needed to recognize or even respect that. But deep down, I desperately wanted to criticize his selfish ways. I couldn't though, so I remained strangely indifferent. I was living off his income and wasn't in the position to preach to him. But yeah, doctors make a lot of money, and they pay like. Well, what I've learned is that insurance, medical insurance and stuff, it's like $300,000 or something like that a month. Wow. I don't know, and that's just the surgeons, I'm saying. You don't want to, you don't get sued, that's malpractice, malpractice insurance, that's what I meant, sorry. Malpractice insurance, like $300,000 or something, that's it, that's the insurance I was talking about. This would have been plenty of motive to move out. It was uncomfortable being under his care. And I did seriously consider it sometimes, but twiddling my thumbs as the days went by and not having any concrete plan maybe spoke to my lack of independence. Also, in addition to the typical problems of an institutionally educated kid, I had another reason I had to bow to my parents and relatives. and it would eventually be time for me to talk about it. On the other hand, my dad had nothing tying him down. He had his own condo in the city. Wait, what? Then... Wait, I'm confused. So, is this doctor, father, divorced with my mother? Or my parents divorced? Or what? I'm confused why he has condo in the... He claimed that he needed it in order to balance his TV and doctor work, and my mom hardly proclaimed, "Okay, honey," but it was obvious to me he wanted to get back to his youthful freedom. Before long, he stopped visiting, and sure enough, he was having an affair. Oh, never mind. There we go. There it is. Wait, then why is the mom bouncing up and down, happy to see him? The girl was a 21-year-old model who was also on TV. They met on a quiz show that she was helping host, and my dad was in as a contestant.
あら綺麗ね。お父さんどうやってこんなこと仲良くなれたのかしら。不思議ね。
She's not upset? I'm confused. I'm confused in what she is. What's going through her mind? As the picture on screen changed to a smiling shot of the girl in question, my mom tilted her head as she spoke. No, Mom, you're by far the strange one here. Yes, it was a bit strange that a middle-aged guy with thinning hair could land a beautiful young girl, but how could she watch this unfold and just sit there smiling? Yeah, exactly. Perplexed by that, I plopped some ham on my toast and took a bite and washed it down with some coffee. It was usually a tasty combination, but today it was bland. I don't know if that is ever a tasty combination. My mom loved and trusted my dad. I knew that. My dad was pushing it, but he respected my mom at the end of the day. He loved her and I knew that too. It may not have been their son's place to comment on it. It was their issue. I mean, I knew that too, but something about it felt wrong. I mean, literally everything about it is wrong. Yet I couldn't come out and say it. As usual with these stories, I had a shot of them coming out of the condo. It was written in the tabloids. Everyone ate it up. There were surely dozens of more important news stories, but they were really milking this one. I'm done. I finished eating and left my mom with her eyes glued to the screen. Are they still married? I'm confused now. I'm really confused. I didn't have anything else to do other than attend school today. I did my usual independent morning studies and accompanied my mom for some lunch and shopping and studied in the afternoon until I had to leave for school at about 6:30 p.m. Oh my gosh, I hate evening class. I hated it. Sure, afternoon's fine. Evening, oh no. In my evening class, what was my evening class? Oh my gosh, it was a biology lab in dissection and thanks, and then had dinner after that. Back to school after the weekend. My school was called KGuueyAnime Academy and was a name anyone in my prefecture knew, but it was mostly known for the activities of the full-time students. In fact, most had no idea there was a part-time course as well. I was a student at the part-time course. After all, the full-time students had left, the part-time class started in the same classrooms. Same in name and facilities, but full-time and part-time were entirely different beasts. Obviously, in terms of academic skill, but the school ceremonies, field days, and such were also held separately. We had the same uniforms, but we weren't required to wear it. In fact, we were encouraged not to wear it after school hours since it could attract trouble. Although there were a handful of students who wanted to have the typical student experience, so they did. People generally wore their street clothes or a blazer similar to a school uniform, and some even came in their work clothes right after a shift. Quite different from a full-time school with students from the same cut, but, you know, we were all over the place in terms of age and stage in life. The student body was comparatively young, but still had some stretching well into their 20s, and even one who was 32. Hey, you can go back to school, you do that. You do that. No one's stopping you. Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed if you're back in school. Who cares? You do you. Other part-time schools had even older students, apparently. They all had their reasons for not being able to attend classes during the day. Some had household reasons, others emotional or psychological, but there wasn't one of us who didn't have some obstacle to a normal education. And I, not being an exception, had an obstacle as well. I used to go full-time, but I quit and here I was, and the decision to do so was all on me. I was never the type to disagree with my parents, but having up and quit like that, I was in even less of a position to do so. And my dilemma of wanting to say something about my dad's affair, but being unable to was in the same vein. Well, at any rate, part-time and full-time classes were leagues apart. Oh, that was the whole point of that? Oh, okay. I came here during last year's first semester and had been over a year now. The difference was night and day for me in both ways. Coming to school at night itself was weird, but seeing students in their 20s go off to smoke at break time was shocking, and seeing a single mother have to bring her baby with her was nothing I was prepared for. I don't know about that. I don't know, is that... Because that's a very big distraction in a class. Is that allowed? I don't know. Not to mention the drop in attendance as days went on. Well, yeah. The dropout rate was high for part-time students. I can see that. Some students who couldn't deal with regular school wound up here, but ended up dropping out anyway. Others couldn't quite balance their day, job, and night classes. Yeah, that's a lot that's a handful. The teachers here were all passionate and did their best to help us get our diplomas, but things just didn't work out for some students and they couldn't quite follow through. It was just the way it was. Everyone had their own lives and they chose their own path. If they decided to quit, then no one could rightfully stop them. I had my own insecurities and worries, but it was never to the point of wanting to quit. Something about this school had really grown on me. How?
Senpai, konbanwa.
Wow. Why is it... Okay. It was just like, the music in the background is nice and soft and quiet, and then she comes out of nowhere and just... It sounds like she screamed at me. I think I might need to balance the audio in the next episode. I changed into my indoor shoes at the entrance, and a girl with short black hair greeted me. Oh, evening.
どうしたんですか？ぼーっとして。
I don't know. Oh, I meant the same as always.
そうでしたね。
She giggled unconvincingly.
ちょっと待っててくださいね。
She was lively as she hurriedly took off her white sneakers. Due to the momentum as she bent forward, her shoulder bag launched over her head, always knocking her off her feet. I quickly caught her by the shoulder. Her body lurched toward me and I could smell her shampoo, as well as a tinge of sweat.
すみません。
She blushed bashfully. You don't have to rush, I'll wait for you. She was like a little squirrel always scurrying around. I rolled my eyes as I reassured her. She nodded and sat down to take her shoes off, slowly this time. She was Yako Ozaki, same year as me. Some might find it odd that she referred to me as her senior, despite us being in the same year, but it wasn't like I was the type to force my classmates to address me like that. In reality, she was my junior at one point. During middle school, I was in the kendo club and so was she, but a year below me. I entered high school full-time, but because I quit midway and enrolled in this part-time school, I lost a whole year. She came straight here out of middle school, and so we ended up in the same grade. Wait, what? Wait, high school can have part-time? I've never heard of a high school that allows part-time. I mean, wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. Okay. You're in college. This is college because okay, you're in college. He's in college right now because college is where, I mean, yeah, you know that's when part-time and full-time happens, not freaking high school. I don't know what the heck this he's talking about. And also, like, I'm so confused. What? Or he's talking about the past. She worked the register at a nearby supermarket, and after she finished her shift, she came here. I'm confused. So are we in high? Are we in no, not high? Are we in college? Because we are definitely talking about college. Because if a 32-year-old person is trying to get their diploma, that's pretty much doing getting a GED. That's pretty much it. Same thing. And they're not gonna allow you to go to a freaking high school to you know, get your classes. And in a part-time, I've never heard of a part-time high school. Is that a thing? Is that a real thing? Is that a fake thing? I don't know. But this has to be that has to be incorrect. This has to be college. This has to be college or university. Her supermarket job started at 9 o'clock in the morning, and at the earliest, she left school at 9 o'clock at night. If you add an extracurricular in there, it would be 10 o'clock. Her whole day was occupied by work and study. And literally, because I'm pretty sure they mistyped it, because if you're in high school in 9th grade right now and you're doing parts high school, I don't know what that means. You're not old enough to even work at anywhere. So I'm pretty sure they mistyped it and it's actually college or university. So yeah, I'm going with that. But she never seemed down at all, and she was always quick to give me a chipper hello. Her family wasn't wealthy, and she had to contribute to tuition and household expenses. Yeah, this is definitely college, because mostly public schools, and I'm pretty sure he's going to a public school. There's no tuition. It's paid by taxes. So yeah, that was the reason she couldn't be a full-time student. She was younger than me, but a person that I truly respected.
すみません、お待たせして。
She inclined her head, slightly ashamed after she got her indoor shoes on. Don't sweat it, let's go. We walked side by side to her classroom. We didn't bother talking about what had happened over the weekend. I knew she was busy with work. Sunset had started making the lower sunlight shine directly through the window. Why did it seem so bright in the evening? The aluminum frames of the windows and pins used in the posters on the wall reflected the light so vividly, even Ozaki-san's hair shone as she walked next to me. If every day had this kind of shine, I felt like life had plenty of hope after all. The students studying part-time had to live like bats, but the morning sun wasn't the only beautiful thing in this world.
どうしたんですか？一人でうんうんとうなずいて。
Ozaki-san tilted her head as she looked over at me. It's nothing. I quickly averted my gaze in embarrassment.
先輩っていつも何か黙って考え事してますよね。やっぱり頭がいい人っていろいろ考えてるんですね。
No, come on, I was just thinking of something stupid. There's no way I was telling her I thought the evening sun was beautiful. It was corny and she'd think I was lying. If I was thinking of something more exciting or pressing, I wouldn't have time to look at the scenery, but I couldn't stop admiring it. It made me forget everything else on my mind. Maybe I was generally tired?
そうですか?
Shot her inquisitive eyes on me. I escaped by speeding up a bit, but she trotted right back up to me.
おめでとうございます。
Congratulations. Nothing noteworthy came to mind as I rubbed my chin.
詩の小説の賞です。ほら、副賞を取ったじゃないですか。
Oh, that's what you mean. I cringed and puckered my lip.
未来ちゃんが市役所に行った時、張り出されてるのを見たって。
Ozaki-san was referring to the Ganjuro Shinoda literature contest. Ganjuro Shinoda was apparently an artist born in this city, but I had never heard of him. Either way, to commemorate the 50th anniversary of his death... Oh, the city put on the Ganjuro Shinoda literature contest. I wasn't trying to kick off my career as a novelist or anything, but there was some prize money and the story would be featured in the city news. It was just some small local contest, but I submitted a story I wrote over winter break last year and took runner-up. If that was all, then I'd have been generally happy, but the story doesn't end there. Run-up means that there was a winner too, and that happened to be a girl younger than me, and as icing on the cake, she was a student at my previous school. It wasn't as though I knew her personally, and if I wanted to, I could find her through an acquaintance. However, knowing I'd then be compared to her, my motivation went away. Oh. So that's why I hadn't made a big deal out of it, but I was still happy. I remember pouring my heart into it, and regardless of the rank I was happy, my work got a positive response. I felt like society recognized me for something, not for a task imposed on me, but an endeavor I undertook my own. Mine's for a simple hobby. It was like a little boost for my life. I understand this guy's point of view. The task imposed on you. Any task that you are imposed on, like on you really don't feel like doing it. Like that motivation is not a motivation. It's like a demotivator. It was a good way to judge my modest accomplishment, but even that pleasure was dashed before long. It happened not long after. I sprained my wrist in the waiting room of the orthopedic clinic. Oh wait, he sprained his wrist, not in the orthopedic clinic. I saw an article in the newspaper about the girl who took first place. It was like, wow, they did an interview with her, despite having nothing like that myself. I figured people wanted to hear about the winner, and she was younger than me, not to mention cute. I told myself that while ignoring the growing prickly feeling in my gut, I read on, only to be shocked by what was written. Admittedly, I knew nothing about the girl, but I figured that, like me, she must have liked novels and put some serious effort into her submission. But according to the interview in the paper, the girl liked movies and TV and barely read at all. After hearing she could win money in the contest, she wrote a story in a single weekend with almost no proofreading or editing, and she just felt so bad for all the other people who tried so hard after I just whipped something up, or maybe I don't. Hee hee. Oh. Wow. She is gonna grow up and be that person. Despite her languid attitude about it all, she already had offers from publishers and was currently working on something new. This would put her on the literary map. Are you sure? Seems like she might be a better writer for movies or whatever. I started to feel so sick I thought I had food poisoning and my head was throbbing. The orthopedic surgeon was almost worried I'd come to the wrong place. Wait, hold on. He sprained his wrist, right? Why is there an orthopedic surgeon? I'm lost. The world was a dark and cruel place. No matter how passionate I wasn't better than a whimsical girl who saw the whole thing as a joke. Oh. Well, I'm not gonna be reading in a higher pitched voice for all this dialogue. That's a lot. But wait, maybe her smugness was because she was aware of her talent. Maybe that attitude was proof of her genius. I still couldn't swallow it. Which is why I decided to pretend that it never happened, and because I never told anyone, if I just clammed up, that would be the end. Okay, got it. I never wrote a story, I never sent it. Following, I didn't lose to anyone, I didn't flip out over it. Cool? Hey, Tsushima, delete all this from your memory. Your name's Kay? Is that a female name? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Kay a female name? And somehow my self-brainwashing had worked. I had started to forget. I don't know that's how that works, but sure.
すごいですね。さすが先輩ですね。
Oh, it only worked for a split second. I understand now. Yeah, it did work for a split second because, you made it nothing. But, a split second later, she brought back up. Ozaki-san's eyes sparkled shamelessly with praise. The thanks. The monster in my brain I thought I had killed had been revived, and I broke into code sweat as I forced out a meek reply. Sato-san, that chatterbox, had seen it. That undoubtedly meant everyone in class already knew. I didn't want to step foot in the classroom, but it was too late. I was ready standing in front of the old door with my hand at my side. Turning back now would seem way too suspicious. I could already hear voices inside. I just hoped they weren't talking about me. Escape wasn't an option now, though. I psyched myself up enough to step inside and everyone turned to look. Oh no, who this? Who that? So I'm gonna end the episode here, everybody, for Musicus. And I was hoping there was a cinematic in the intro of the game, but apparently there really wasn't. I thought I skipped it by accident, but there wasn't. But anyways, we're gonna continue this and see where this goes, because I'm kind of curious. Oh, I am a guy. Okay. Because I was confused because he was talking about the girl, and I was so confused. All right, anyways, now I understand. That I'm actually a guy. All right, that makes sense. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Musicus. You guys can check out this game for yourself. The link is down below in the descriptions for most of my games. And yeah, we will find out more in the next video. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, then please smash that like button, subscribe down below for more awesome videos. Don't forget to ring that little bell to get notifications of my uploads. Thank you everybody for watching this video, and you guys will hear me in the next episode. Goodbye!